Hi friends, it's Andrew Goodall here from Nature's Image Photography, and today I'm taking another look at one of the great features on the Panasonic Lumix G9 with the Leica Panasonic 100-400mm lens. Before we get started, I would love it if you subscribe to this channel if you haven't already, to see all the future content I have on the way about the Panasonic Lumix G9. Today I'm looking at image stabilization, and I'm going to show you a few video clips with the stabilizer turned on and with the stabilizer turned off. But before we see the clips, here's a bit of info, and let's see just how many times I can say the word stabilize in 5 minutes. This is a dual stabilized system, meaning the lens is stabilized, the camera has its own stabilizer, and with this lens attached to this body they work together. Remember, this lens was built for Panasonic cameras. While you can use this lens on Olympus cameras as well, as I understand it, you don't get the dual stabilization unless you're using the Panasonic body. Enabling the dual stabilizer is very simple. There is a power OIS switch on the lens. That stands for Power Optical Image Stabilizer. When you switch it on here, you enable it for the lens and the body. You don't have to go into the menu to turn it on for the body as well. You'll know it's working because you'll see this symbol on your screen or viewfinder. Once enabled, the system brings up to 6.5 stops of extra stability to your stills or video. Now, I'm not a big fan of numbers, I like to see things in action, and since I can't show you how the stabilizer works with a still photo, let's look at some video clips. In all the following clips I've marked where the stabilizer is on and when I switch it off, but you really don't need me to tell you, it's pretty obvious when it goes off, and I really hope nobody gets motion sickness watching this video. Now, you can probably see already that even when the stabilizer's on, the camera is still moving. But remember, this is handheld, and I'm using a pretty big telephoto lens here, which not only magnifies the subject, but also the effect of any camera movement. The 400mm lens on a 4/3 system equates to 800mm on a full-frame camera, so keeping things perfectly steady handheld is pretty much impossible. But even so, the video is watchable until you turn the image stabilizer off, at which point the shakiness is impossible to ignore. And when it kicks back in, you once again have a bit of watchable footage. Now, I should tell you that video is not my thing, I really only ever shoot stills, but remember, this same level of image stabilization is working for me with my stills photography as well. And at 6.5 stops of stability, that means I can shoot at some pretty slow speeds and still get photos just as sharp as if they were shot at 1,000th of a second or faster. Of course, this really only applies to eliminating camera shake. It won't do anything to help freeze a fast-moving subject. So what does this mean for us in practical terms? Well, our theory tells us that if we're shooting with a telephoto lens, our shutter speed should be higher than the size of the lens to eliminate camera shake. So with a lens that is equivalent to 800mm, you should be shooting at speeds above an 800th of a second. And most of us feel more comfortable seeing our shutter speed up around 1,000th of a second or faster. Now, to get that kind of speed in the shade, we would usually have to increase the ISO, sometimes quite high. It's a common criticism of micro 4/3 cameras that they're noisy at high ISO. But if I don't need to have my shutter speed so fast, then I don't need to have my ISO so high. So I'm able to get top quality, low ISO photos in situations like this, thanks to that great image stabilizer. So there's my demonstration of the image stabilizer on the Panasonic Lumix G9. The stabilization is clearly very impressive, and the only way to appreciate it is to see it for yourself. So if seeing is believing, I hope this video has done the job for you. Now remember, I'm using the big 100-400mm lens, and even with such a powerful stabilizer, it's not possible to eliminate all movement, but certainly enough to allow you to get sharp photos using slower shutter speeds than you would ever be able to get with almost any comparable system. When I have the chance, I'll make a similar video showing you the results I can get with a wide-angle lens. For now, thanks for watching. I hope you found something of value in this video, and if you did, please don't forget to subscribe.